lineup with Lewis Jackson, Moore, and Kramer. And then Robbie Hummel. How about these two yesterday? Jawan Johnson, Hummel and Johnson really helping the Purdue Boilermakers move on with ease here in Indy. Matt Painter, his fourth year at Purdue, has taken them to the NCAA tournament the last 2 years and no doubt headed back again this year. You look at these two teams, they split during the regular season, Clark.
In both cases, Jim, it was a matter of which team shot the ball better. Ohio State shot it extremely well in the overtime win early in February. 2 weeks ago, it was Purdue, 7 of 9 three-point field goal shooting in the second half in that blowout win 2 weeks ago.
Today's game is brought to you in HDTV by Harris Corporation, the world leader in broadcast systems for high-definition television and mobile media. Ed Hightower, Ted Hillary, and J.D. Collins get the assignment here to officiate the Big Ten final. Ohio State in the red, Purdue in the white, is controlled by the Buckeyes. At 22-9 on the year. They were the 5th seed in the Big Ten tournament. First time ever a 5 seed has made it to the final. Buford has it stripped away. Nice move by Moore to force it. Right back, Turner almost brought it right back to the Bucks. And that's thrown away, trying to feed Johnson. Turner is the one who comes out with it. And they steal it away from Ohio State. Basket by Johnson as Kramer shielded Turner.
Doing a nice job there defensively. Very active with their hands are the Boilermakers here early on, Jim. Couple of keys. The inside play of both teams. Jawan Johnson has been fantastic in the last couple of weeks as an inside presence. The Buckeyes have gotten on this roll recently because their interior guys, Lauderdale and Mullins, have been very solid screen setters and defenders.
Hummel picks up the rebound off the Turner miss. And it's Hummel from the corner for a 3. Johnson, offensive glass and putback. First board to the Boilermakers.
In the 2 prior meetings, Ohio State won the rebounding battle by 16 in their win. Purdue won the rebounding battle by 15 in its win.
Just like the last 2 days, another good start by Purdue. Boilermakers trying to win a Big Ten tournament title for the first time. And Diebler hits a 3. He had 5 threes in the win over the Spartans just yesterday.
Good execution that time, Jim. He came off of that screen and was able to step right into his shot.
Purdue played in the first ever Big Ten tournament final back in '98, lost to Michigan. Very little success after that until this year. Turnaround Johnson, no. Diebler there to clear it for the Bucks.
Jim, you can see that Purdue wants to really try to establish J squares, Jawan Johnson inside.
Diebler, oh, that was down and out. Cleared away by Hummel.
This matchup zone is all about individual defenders, not just guarding an area, but guarding the guy in the area. So it's got man-to-man principles, although it's a zone.
Hummel, back of the rim with the 3, but tapped out to Kramer. And a new 35 for the Boilermakers. Hummel has to take it. Had the open shot at the free throw line.
That's the soft spot against the zone, Jim. That middle area around the foul line, that's exactly where you want to attack it if you're Purdue.
Here's William Buford. Back over to Hill. Hill, 5-1 are the Buckeyes since he came into the lineup.
He brings a lot of energy. He's a very unselfish player, understands his role.
Turner jumper, 5-4 to lead now for Ohio State.
And that guy understands his role too, Jim. He's about making plays and making shots.
On the shot clock, they go back inside. Kick it back out. Moore with the 3. Tapped around, picked up by Buford.
Good job defensively here by the Buckeyes. They know they have to challenge the three-point shot and also try to deny the ball inside to Juwan Johnson. And then they've got to rebound the misses.
Tapped out. Last touch by Kramer. It'll be Ohio State ball when we come back. Last 5 points to the Buckeyes. 2 hours, 22 minutes, 20 seconds.
Yes, sir. The excitement is building, partner.
Yes, it is. We've got to see what's going to sort itself out here with the #1 seeds. How do you see it?
Well, I go here, here, and then UConn probably as a anchored in #2. I just can't get away from Memphis having the kind of season that they've had and earning the #1 seed.
They're going to take the basket away.
Yeah, I think he was over the goal.
Mullins.
That ball was still well in the cylinder. Good effort by B.J. Mullins to get to it, but it has not escaped the cylinder before he punched it back home.
I think it was about to drop through on its own.
Perhaps.
Here's Grant. Big aggressive move right off the bench. A starter a year ago, and now a boost off the bench. Keaton Grant. And that ends a little stretch there of 4 consecutive missed shots by the Boilermakers.
Grant had a terrific game against Penn State, made 5 of 6 from behind the arc. Was not a factor yesterday. Off to a good start here for Purdue with that drive.
I know. Deeper from the other side. And Turner is out of bounds. In that #1 seed list we had there, you've got the 4th and final #1 seed between Memphis and UConn. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I look at, yeah.
And you go Memphis.
I'll go Memphis because the momentum Memphis has had, a strong non-conference schedule, the momentum that Memphis has had throughout the year. Everybody talks about the conference, but I don't see anybody else blitzkrieg in their conference either. So the fact they do that and they're playing at a high level, I mean, I think you're splitting hairs when you talk about the last #1 seed and the first #2.
There's Johnson. Little soft hook doesn't go. Too strong. Well, in theory, that would put UConn and Memphis in the same bracket.
That would be fine by me. How about you?
I'd love to see that matchup with Coach Cal and Coach Calhoun.
Sure. If it would play out that way, potentially, obviously, both teams, if that does come to fruition, would have to win their games. But it could set up for a terrific regional final.
Ball squirts free. It's Hummel. And the foul committed by Turner. Now, the committee, what will they do factoring in key injuries like Dyson? You know, UConn's only 3-3 since Dyson went out. But with a win at Marquette, 2 losses to Pitt.
Well, I circled Patty Mills, and I think that's the most unique injury situation the committee has had to face since I've been following it as closely as we have the last 15 years. The fact that they were 19-3 with him, Jim, with Patty Mills, played a pretty strong schedule. And then he comes back, had some rust in the West Coast Conference Championship game. He was not nearly as sharp, nor would anybody have been, missing that kind of practice time and game action. Had a game scheduled after the West Coast Conference Championship where he played well against Eastern Washington. I think that's one of the really difficult dilemmas for the selection committee. For me, I would look at St. Mary's as with Patrick Mills, and that means they're a tournament team.
I'd like to see him in there. You know, the excitement that you saw in the tournament last year with Curry, the star emerging on that big stage.
I wouldn't disagree with you, but you can't manufacture that.
That's right. You can't give a team based on that a reason to put him in.
But certainly, I think their body of work with him out there healthy is enough for them to be one of the 34 at-large selections. And if I was in the committee room, my vote would be for St. Mary's to be in.
That was a 3 by Buford. Well, Mississippi State just took a bit away from someone.
Yeah, they blocked somebody out of one. Be interesting to see who that might be. You talk about St. Mary's, Penn State, San Diego State, Creighton, Maryland, all teams considered to be fighting for that last couple of at-large spots.
Foul against Purdue. Now, the Boilermakers in the first 2 games here in the tournament had committed a total of 8 turnovers in 2 games and 33 assists. I mean, it has been Matt Painter's team at its best here.
Well, the word for that is efficiency. High-quality shot making, good ball movement and assist, and low turnovers. That's a recipe for winning, and Ohio State has played at the same kind of level here in the tournament.
2 early turnovers by Purdue.
Well, you can't be casual with passes when you're facing Purdue's defense. The defenders on the perimeter move their feet, and they get their hands in passing lanes.
Ohio State turns it right back over.
I think the Buckeyes, when B.J. Mullins is on the floor, Jim, they want to establish him and get the ball inside. But you got to make sure the passing angle is good and you get that ball on a line into the chest of the receiver.
Nice shot by Collison.
You know, in the win at Purdue, Jim, he had 14 points on 6 of 8 shooting and only 13 minutes of playing time. So he doesn't mind seeing the Buckeyes.
And he can shoot from the outside, too, as we saw yesterday. There's a push-off against Purdue. And it is called on Green. Here are the bubble teams.
This team was in my book. This was in. Question mark here. Question mark here. For me, now that's just me. I represent one committee member of 9, excluding the chair. And that's something that people don't realize. They think individual bias is going to influence what happens with 9 people. You can voice your choice, say what's going to move you for a particular team, but then everybody has to vote. And teams that get moved either out or into the field, it's based on the committee voting, not just one individual person's bias.
That's more. Yep, last touch by Purdue. Well, one team we didn't have on there was Arizona, which has made the tournament field every year since 1985. Their portfolio for this year includes wins over Kansas, Washington, Gonzaga, and UCLA, but 2-9 road record. What do you think, Wildcats? Does the streak continue or are they out?
For me, Jim, and again, I'm just speaking from my perspective, road wins, quality road wins are significant in my evaluation and differentiation of teams. Based on that, I don't think Arizona has enough based on the teams they'll be compared to.
That's a foul on Hummel, sending Lauderdale to the line. Here it is, a closer inspection. 63 in the computer. A strong strength of schedule.
Now, the fact that teams are under consideration and they don't make it doesn't mean they don't deserve, but it's a matter of what the committee comes up with. You've got 2 or 3 other teams that Arizona will be compared to, and at the end of the day, it's going to be based on the committee members voting and what the sentiment is individually and then collectively that determines which teams get the most votes to be put from the consideration board into the at-large field.
Buckeyes bring in Walter Offit, number 3, and Kyle Madsen. One more for Dallas Lauderdale, a 46% free throw shooter. 1 of 2. And the game's tied at 9.
Nice job here defensively by Ohio State, but you can't lose track of him.
Yep, Hummel got free in the corner for the 3.
You cannot lose him, Jim. He's so clever with his movement without the ball, and he's got such size that if you don't get to him immediately, he's going to be able to shoot over just about any perimeter guy that's defending him.
Jim Nance, Clark Kellogg here at Conseco Fieldhouse. Turnovers early by the Buckeyes.
Yeah, they've got to turn that turnover funnel off because you don't have a chance to be efficient offensively. Just a little careless and sloppy with it against good man-to-man defensive pressure by Purdue.
Purdue with 7 points off those turnovers. And a 3-point lead. Simmons, National Junior College Player of the Year out of Mott Community College up in Flint.
Nice curl move.
He cradles the ball to the hole, but defended by the Boilermakers.
Now you really got to find Hummel in transition because he loves to spot up early in the offense for Purdue.
And Lauderdale sends it back. Stolen back. Simmons, blocked by Hummel. Oh, what a sequence this is. Marcus Green from the wing. Hummel on the follow, and he's fouled on the way up.
How about Robbie Hummel, Jim? He makes the effort to block the shot at one end, then pursues the missed shot at the other end. That's why he was chosen as preseason conference player of the year, because he can do so many things to help his team win.
Foul on Buford, his first, second on Ohio State. 2 shots for Hummel, with 4 rebounds in the early going and a pair of blocks. 19 points, 12 rebounds yesterday. They bring back Jawan Johnson and E'Twaun Moore, Purdue starters. Well, you wonder about seeding for these two teams. You know, are they playing for maybe a chance to move up a line or two? Or
I'm not sure, Jim. I would think the selection committee has pretty much taken into consideration where these teams are on the seed lines, and the outcome of this game won't have significant bearing on where these teams go. I think Purdue could perhaps eke out a 4 seed, maybe a 5, or 5, maybe a 4. I think Ohio State is somewhere between 6 and 9.
That's Buford. Floater, back-to-back baskets by the freshman from Toledo. He's got 7 points. Those last 2 hoops and an earlier 3. McDonald's All-America a year ago. Hummel, nice dish. But Johnson unable to split the 2 defenders.
Well, Johnson that time trying to avoid the shot blocker instead of going up into him.
Turner's 3 rattles out. It's Jackson. Tapped out Simmons.
Well, I think both teams so hungry to win this game that they're just a tad off offensively in terms of the shot making here.
Going to be a foul on the Buckeyes, their 3rd. And it's called on Simmons, his first. You can run your bracket competition online for free with Bracket Manager. Invite your friends, fill out brackets. Bracket Manager does the rest. Sign up now, cbssports.com/brackets. You're going to want to get all over this here in the next 24 hours. It's free. Again, cbssports.com. Purdue's missed its last 5 shots. Only 29% for the game. Go down low, and Johnson's free in the paint. Moore with the assist. Good interior passing by Purdue.
Fantastic interior passing, Jim. The extra pass made by each player leading to a layup. Actually a throwdown by Johnson, which is exactly what you should do when you're his size and have his ability. And you catch it that close to the rim. Punch it home.
There's another 3 by Buford. The Big Ten freshman of the year with 10 points. 10 of Ohio State's 16.
Well, he went for 22 in the win at Ohio State. He's very capable of exploding offensively.
Johnson fouled and to the line. Well, we're back here with Jim Nance, Clark Kellogg at the Big Ten championship game. And what have you seen so far that you liked?
Well, I like what Purdue has done here, getting the ball inside. We're going to circle Kramer, and then he's going to get the ball right here to Hummel. Hummel's going to get it to Moore, and then Moore's going to get it right here to Johnson, and that's going to lead to a dunk. Hummel moving without it. 2 defenders go to him. He finds E'Twaun Moore right here, and then right there. Boom. Throw it down, big fella. And that's excellent interior passing. I mean, there was no more than 3 or 4 feet between Hummel, Moore, and Johnson, and the passes were right on target, right on time.
And now Johnson from the line to trying to complete the 3-point play. Had 20 points yesterday, and he does so. It's Purdue up by 2.
Boy, Purdue really does a nice job rotating, defensively moving their feet, helping each other out. Nice show here by Johnson, but that's an excellent pass by Turner.
And Mullins able to get the basket for the Buckeyes to tie the game at 18. Bobby Rydell is in for Purdue, number 11.
See, with Johnson coming up to show that time, that left Mullins on a much smaller guy underneath the goal, and he took advantage of it.
There's Moore. Just took a step past Mullins, but lost control of it on the drive, and it's off him. Spin move, Turner. Impressive. And finishes it off.
He's got a knack, Jim. He has a knack for slithering into the paint area and finishing shots. He's eel-like in that regard. Long, lean, and slippery.
And there he is again. No travel call. Lobs it underneath to Mullins. Sets up Diebler. Johnson up high for the board, and Mullins fouls him.
Well, you don't need that there. Johnson clearly had possession and control of that rebound. The freshman B.J. Mullins has to recognize that and then just retreat back and get ready to play defense.
Mullins first, 5th on the Buckeyes. 2 away from the 101. A Purdue program that had never even won a Big Ten tournament game here in Indianapolis. They come here 4 times and lost in their first game 4 consecutive times. 2 impressive wins this week, though. Coming up short on the shot is Johnson.
I think Purdue's doing a nice job attacking that short side of the floor against the zone, trying to get that ball inside to Johnson. He took a tough shot there, and then a good box out by Evan Turner for the defensive board.
Buford steps in for the 2. For him, a rare miss.
Yeah.
Oh, what a shot by Grant. 3-pointer. Purdue back up by a point.
Jim, that's one of the best times to shoot that 3.
Oh, Turner with a sudden burst to the basket.
Now, if he's eel-like on the drives where he makes layups, what can we call him if he throws it down like that?
I don't know. Plus, you got to give him credit for another gear that he brought to the dance.
That's right.
Last touch by Ohio State. No slithering here, Clark.
Nothing but power there from E.T. Evan Turner, bringing it right to you. No backcourt. The full court is in play when the team inbounds from the baseline. Nance, you got another one.
I don't know. I keep getting all these assists.
You twice now.
That toe is just like a magnet over here.
And you've made clean catches.
And
no bobble in it.
Yesterday I couldn't help myself. I took a shot when I put it back in play.
Did it go down?
It went. We have the video. I don't know if they still have it.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'd have to see that on video to believe it.
Jackson goes deep to get it. Only 2 seconds on the shot clock. And he knows it. Long rebound to Hill.
Good push ahead by P.J. Hill there.
Buford turnaround. Hummel had Lauderdale boxed out. Moore open. Got the 3.
That's great basketball, Jim. That is outstanding basketball. Defensive rebound, push it up the floor and find the open shooter.
Turner again.
He got a lot in his book bag, doesn't he?
He's got 8 points. backing up the second half. 18-point second half against Michigan State yesterday. Hummel already made one from here, not this time. Diebler got help on a screen, and he knocks down one of his own. Second three of the game by Diebler. Collison. And the Buckeyes get the rebound with the three-point lead. 3 minutes to go in the half.
Matt Painter imploring his team to come up with a stop here. He feels that Ohio State finding a rhythm and getting some momentum in large part because of this guy right here.
Turner. He wanted it, as he should.
He sure did.
The way he's played. Collison back to Lauderdale. Side of the basket, Blues. And it's going to Ohio State out of the next break. 27 years Big Ten commissioner, just recently turned 80.
Yes.
You look at his resume, I'm talking a Hall of Fame contributor.
Without question, partner.
You know, he was on that committee back in the mid-70s, all the way until 81, when the tournament really exploded. When they went to the seeding process, they expanded the field, they brought in at-larges. Wayne Duke was one of the leaders of all that movement.
Tremendous pioneer and contributor, as you said. Has a great passion for the game, and anything that ends up being really good, there are a lot of people that build the foundation for it, and he was one of them.
Approaching 2 minutes to go in the first half. It's been good action here today in Indianapolis.
Sure has been, despite the low score. Good intensity, and I mentioned it at the top of the telecast. Both of these teams want to win the championship.
There's Turner. He got pinned underneath. Collison swings the arms away from Turner. You say low scoring. The 82 points scored yesterday by Ohio State in the win against Michigan State. The first time a team had scored 80 in a Big Ten tournament game since 04.
Wow.
Off the back of Turner into the arms of Hill.
Yeah, there have been some grinders. Yeah, there have been some grinders. And that's gotten a lot of people talking about the Big Ten style of play. Nothing wrong with John Diebler from deep.
Diebler with his third three, and Purdue now faces its biggest deficit here at the Big Ten tournament. And they really, other than a couple of early baskets in the Penn State game, this is a team that's just dominated the first half, both Penn State and Illinois.
Well, Ohio State knew they didn't want Purdue to get off to a really strong start today, and the defense has kept Purdue at bay. Matching up with shooters, no trailing three-point shots for Hummel thus far, and a fourth shot there by Craig.
Coming up, we got the AT&T at the half with Greg Gumbel, Greg Anthony, and Seth Davis. All the scores and highlights, latest tournament talk, and an AT&T Naismith Watch update. It's all coming up on AT&T at the half. That foul was the second one against Turner, 6th against the Buckeyes in the half. It's been an 8-point run now by Ohio State. The Collison will try to break.
For a last check, Purdue had only made 3 of 9 three-pointers, Jim. And that's a big part of this team's weaponry offensively. They need to make close to 10 a game to be clicking on all cylinders. Turner going to rest now with those 2 fouls.
B.J. Mullins takes the floor. 54 seconds. Purdue only 3 team fouls in the half. How about that?
It's been a fast-paced game because there hasn't been a lot of fouling. Good active hands both ways, but not much fouling.
Quick hands by Moore.
Oops.
And then a chop block by P.J. Hill. That'll send him to the line now for a 1-and-1. Here is Evan Turner's first half action.
E.T. showing you a little extraterrestrial.
E.T. I love it.
Yep, that's him, Evan Turner. That's what his teammates call him, E.T. And he's had a strong first half. There you see. 8 points, 4 boards. He does everything for this team. Scoring, rebounding, assists. And he's a great guy to have late in the ball game because he can make foul shots, he can draw fouls, and he can make plays for other people.
More fails to hit the front end. And a timeout called.
The converting point for me. And then Penn State and Minnesota would be compared to a team like St. Mary's, and my personal evaluation and bias would lead me to lean towards St. Mary's with the healthy Patty Mills.
2-second differential on the clock. You put Michigan, though, ahead of Minnesota and Penn State.
Yes, I do.
Okay. That could be one of the things that has been very much discussed about 4 blocks away, where the selection committee is summoning up to the last minute to their 6 o'clock announcement. A timeout this time called by Purdue. Purdue trying to set something up here before the half. While we have a moment, let's send along our best to the Purdue legend from Martinsville. 1932 was his last year. All-America, storied career, All-America, Hall of Famer as a player and coach, John Wooden. Released from a hospital this past week after battling pneumonia for a month. No doubt watching right now. We love him.
Yes,
and we're thinking of him.
We're thinking of him, praying for him, and glad to know he's home and hopefully recovering rapidly.
Put back. No, they had 3 chances. And they come away with the empty trip. So a 30-25 Ohio State lead. They close the half on an 8-1 run. Well, here's a look at the Bud Light first half stats. Field goal percentage for the Buckeyes got back up near 50%, but Purdue has been under 30 virtually the entire way. Struggled.
Some of that, I think, was because Purdue rushed it a little bit, Jim. They didn't make the extra pass as much. They shot a few more challenge shots, and as a result, the percentage is down. Let's see if they move the ball a little better and get Hummel going on the perimeter some.
Got outscored 8-1 the last 4 minutes of the half. Trying to win a Big Ten tournament title for the first time, and Kramer got caught by Ed Hightower. Pretty good lick on P.J. Hill. Hill hit the floor.
Well, as a former footballer who brings a physicality to the game, when you bump into Kramer, you're going to feel it. But that's a point of emphasis this year. Illegal screens, moving screens, extra contact when screening. Easy call for the official.
Yeah, it was Kramer who was on the receiving end of something like that against Michigan. And Manny Harris broke his nose.
Yeah. Turned with elbows high and caught Kramer right across the bridge of the nose back in January.
Here's Hill trying to force it into Lauderdale, and lucky to get it back.
This is where Evan Turner is so tough, Jim.
He's got
finding the shot clock.
Better find it in a hurry. Got 2 seconds. Kramer from behind. And Kramer had a hand on it. Hummel with the rebound and fouled from behind by the Buckeyes.
Well, typically Turner is pretty good in that situation, but never quite had control of his dribble.
So that's the 3rd on Hill. Only player with any kind of foul issues, although Turner does have 2.
Yeah, but that's not an issue.
Not an issue at this point. Hummel over to Johnson, and they team up for a basket that circled the rim about 3 or 4 laps.
Johnson really does a good job, Jim, of making himself available when his teammate penetrates along that baseline, and that was a nice example of that on that bucket.
Their first basket in 5 minutes and 41 seconds. D. Blur, number 4 on the day for D. Blur.
The Buckeyes, the best field goal shooting team and 3-point shooting team in the conference.
Lauderdale showing some defense.
Yeah, he got a piece of that one.
That's Kramer saving it to Hummel. And the wild scramble will send the ball back the other way to the Buckeyes off the arrow. Bracket breakdown after the selection show on the network tonight at 6. CBS College Sports Network will have all the deeper analysis. Bracket breakdown at 7 o'clock. Again, CBS College Sports Network. Cable home of March Madness.
Purdue has been man-to-man the entire time. Nothing new there.
Hill, top of the key three. And that is wide left.
They stepped into it with confidence, but this was a little off target. That means Simmons will check back in. Five assists for P.J. Hill.
Yep.
Done a nice job finding people in rhythm on a couple of those three-point shots for Diva.
On the receiving end of a few comforting words from Tad Model. At the other end, it's Moore with the three for Purdue.
Jim, they have to knock down three-point shots. That's a big part of this motion offense for Purdue, and they're much better and much smoother offensively when they get some threes to go down.
Here's Turner. Slides off the rim. Behind the back, Moore sets himself up. Hummel on the follow. And Purdue with the flurry. Down the one. Look at the assistant here.
Brandon Miller.
Pop fly, it says.
Yep. They call the plays to save their vocal cords with that board you saw there. Be hard for any guys to hear him anyway, the way this Purdue crowd is into it now.
Turner trying to quiet things. Called for the charge. His third. Now it's an issue.
Yes, it is, Jim. Yes, it is. Maybe a little too much dribbling here. He finally splits the double team. And there's Hummel. In the letter of the law, that's a charge. But in the spirit of the game, when a guy is that close to the basket, I don't think he should be able to take a charge.
So 3 fouls on Evan Turner. They whip it around the perimeter and go low. And go to the line after a break.
For those teams.
Here's Johnson, first of two. Next one to try to tie it. Coming off the second foul of the game by Lauderdale, and we're knotted at 33.
Good ball pressure here by Jackson, just trying to make Simmons use some of that clock.
There's Buford with a foul call. Count the basket.
Well, that's excellent movement without the ball by Buford. And E'Twaun Moore was just a little late getting to him. So he made a nice little curl move. It was subtle, but it was enough to get Moore out of position as Moore tried to trail him there. In his effort to get to Buford's right hand, he bumped him just a bit.
Officials are looking at this one. Make sure that that was a 2 and not a 3. Well, let's see. They ruled it initially.
Yeah, he's well inside. Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, he's well inside in the line. Yeah, no doubt about that.
First foul on Moore of Purdue, their second team foul of the half.
Actually, from that look, it seemed as though Moore just got a piece of the elbow.
A big three-point play by the freshman.
Yeah, to stem some of that momentum that Purdue had by tying it up.
This could tie it again. Rattles out. Hummel put back. Too strong. Batted out by the Buckeyes. Belongs to Purdue. Matt Painter sends in Grant for Jackson.
They get a little bigger on the perimeter when that's the case. With Jackson sitting down, and Grant, a much more consistent perimeter shooter, especially from behind the arc, than Jackson.
Hummel working that baseline, comes out for it. Right back to him. He's squared up.
Well, he's been off the mark here today, Jim.
Yep, hey, after he'd been so hot yesterday, a perfect 4 for 4 from 3 in the game against Illinois. 2 for 8 from the floor today.
And he was 4 for 7 in the game against Penn State from behind the arc. So I think you mentioned it earlier, 8 of 11 coming into today's action.
That's Moore with the block. Purdue with the numbers. Hummel. Oh, Diebler thought he had a clean play. Actually not going to argue it too much. Hands the ball back. Foul call on Diebler. Find out more at ncaa.com. That's a must. At NCAA March Madness on Demand. It's just,
are you speaking
and
from
it's
experience?
for free.
Yeah,
Yes.
well, the free part is obviously
I'm going to have it right here, courtside, when we're next week doing the first and second round. I'm going to have it on.
Okay,
this little
great.
computer right
well,
here.
I'll enjoy that then, because I'll be right next to you.
We'll sneak a peek during the commercials.
Okay. Sounds like a plan.
During the breaks, Hummel.
Up until then, Purdue had only made 5 of 10 from the line, so a pair there for Robbie Hummel. This one's been back and forth, Jim. 11 lead changes already.
That's Diebler over Hummel. And Moore comes back out with it. He's got some good hands.
Yeah, he does. Much like Evan Turner for Ohio State, E'Twaun Moore kind of stuffs the stat sheet for Purdue. He'll give us 5, 6, 7 rebounds. He'll make plays that lead to baskets, and he can score it as well.
That's Grant. Wide. Rebound Turner. Simmons goes all the way around and gets the move to go. Pretty nifty.
Very nifty to go up and under off the dribble penetration.
Callison.
Well, you can't get a much better shot than that, Jim. Look at this move here by Jeremy Simmons. He beats Grant and then goes up and under and then had just the right spin on it to send it home.
Callison was left alone, and Mullins bangs him with the body. Near the conclusion of this game, we'll select the Chevrolet Player of the Game. In recognition of their excellence, Chevrolet makes a contribution to each school's general scholarship fund. Learn more at Chevy.com. Callison to shoot 2.
Jim, that's already the 5th team foul on Ohio State here with 13.5 minutes to go.
Second foul on Mullins.
Purdue has attacked the rim effectively.
I do want to say the Ohio State family, heavy hearts, recent days. One of the long, great members of that Ohio State athletic department, Steve Snap. He's been suffering from an illness. 36 years at Ohio State, the associate athletic director, a Marine, a 2-time Purple Heart man. You knew him, Clark, and we sent along best wishes to Steve and just pray for a miracle.
Yes. His wife Elaine, family. It's a tough situation, but our thoughts and prayers with he and the family.
That's Buford getting fouled. Steve would work for us often during the NCAA tournament as one of our timeout coordinators, and just such a presence always. Is just doesn't seem right not seeing him here at the Big Ten tournament. And then second foul here on Moore. So Buford at the line for a pair.
Well, Buford had a big first half yesterday and ended up only scoring 1 of his 14 in the second half, but balancing it out here so far tonight.
Kyle Madsen comes back in for the Buckeyes.
Well, Thad Matta going to try to massage this foul situation with Evan Turner. Turner has the 3 personal fouls. Going to buy a little time here prior to the under 12-minute timeout.
And is Moore, and he knocks it down for a 3 that ties it at 40. Hill Lets them know, hey, I need somebody to help me back here. These two teams have met 160 times in their history. Oh, and Deebler able to get it. It's 80-80 all time, and it's 40-40 here in Indianapolis. And I'm watching this with 20/20 vision.
And the championship on the line.
And I like what I see, because it's Mullins. Fouled on the shot.
Boy, you'd like to see number 32 finish that one.
Hummel's second foul. Marcus Green's going to return for Purdue.
That's one as he gets stronger, Jim. He'll just go right through that defender and throw it down in the future.
Set an Ohio State freshman record for best field goal percentage ever by a freshman. And you think of what, Greg Oden, Clark Kellogg, a few freshmen who starred that rookie year.
Yeah, my former teammate Herb Williams.
Yeah.
But I think of all those guys you mentioned, B.J. Mullins took more shots 3 feet and in than any of the other guys. Lending itself well to
more than Oden? I don't know.
Yeah, more than Oden. Oden shot the jump hook a little more.
They get the ball back. Buford.
Well, that's a situation where Buford has to take his time and look inside to Mullins, who had a much smaller defender on him.
Purdue takes the lead. E'Twaun Moore hitting a couple of threes in the last minute. Shooting 30% is this team for the game, and now they lead it. That's our 12th lead change. First lead since 24-22.
Well, I expect you'll see Evan Turner back on the floor after the timeout comes.
Deebler, tough shot. Was well defended by Grant, who picks up the loose ball. Up ahead, Moore slammed down by Buford.
Good look ahead by Jackson, and there you see William Buford wasn't aware of where the ball was and just ran into E'Twaun Moore.
Just a little more than an hour to go. And those brackets, you think they're finalized yet, Clark?
Well, I'm not sure. I'll be glad to see them whenever they are finalized, though. I imagine there's still a little work being done, Jim. There's some fine-tuning, making sure there aren't any glaring omissions or mistakes.
We invite everybody to tune in at 6 o'clock for the exclusive live first announcement of the tournament field and brackets. Here's Grant with a three. Put back beautifully by Marcus Green. He got position underneath, and suddenly Purdue leads it by 4.
Well, they've made 3 of 7 three-point field goals this half, Jim, after going 3 of 12 in half number 1. They've thrown the ball inside and drawn fouls. They've actually seized the momentum here so far in this half.
It's an 8-1 stretch, thanks to a couple of threes by Moore. Here's Hill.
E'Twaun Moore has knocked down a couple of threes.
How about 3 threes?
Watch out! Watch out!
Timeout, Ohio State. Purdue was down, but then they found more and more. An 11-1 run. Why don't you take us through E'Twaun Moore?
Well, I tell you
what he's done here.
He's made back-to-back threes in this half, and I talked about it, how Purdue needs to knock down threes in this second half. Well, they've made 4 out of 8. E'Twaun Moore has made 3 of them. Coming into this game, they had made 19 of 39 in the tournament here at Conseco Fieldhouse. And there you see the numbers. E'Twaun Moore waking up and ramping up here in the second half.
Ohio State has gone over 3 minutes without a basket. They led by 5 at halftime.
See, I think they can get it inside to B.J. Mullins if they'll just look and give him time to get set. That's a tough shot, but a good one by Evan Turner.
Almost launched another one. This time on the run. E'Twaun Moore taking over the Big Ten title game.
Well, that time B.J. Mullins came out to try to take away the three. E'Twaun showed him the ball and then just dribbled right around it. That's why when you make the outside shot, it sets up an awful lot of dribble penetration as well.
That's Turner. Mullins fighting for it. And it's going to go back to Purdue.
I think Evan Turner has to be careful not to try to do too much himself too soon. He's capable. He's done it all year long. I think they've got to try to get the big guys. Well, actually, B.J. Mullins going to sit down now. But Evan Turner has to be mindful of drawing people and getting some teammates some shots here going down the stretch. Jim, Purdue has done a much better job this half of making multiple passes before looking for a shot.
Not this time for E'Twaun, who has 16 on the game, 13 in the half.
We got another good look at that little runner in the lane.
There's 13. 13 of Purdue's last 15. The difference maker. Foul on the outside. It's called on Jackson. And that's just the 15th foul, second on Jackson.
The bench points have been non-existent today for Ohio State. And the win in the first meeting, Ohio State won that battle 20-6.
And that's tipped away. That's a good defensive effort by Juwan Johnson.
Nice job to help out. Just kind of read that pass and got a hand on it.
Hummel gave it up last second. Johnson gets the soft roll off the rim, and Purdue has its largest lead of the afternoon. Underneath, Lauderdale lays it in from Turner.
Yeah, I think Turner has to be ready to do more of that, Jim. At least initially here as he tries to bring Ohio State back, because Purdue is shaded towards trying to double team him, so he has to make the right decision to get somebody else the ball in scoring position. And then by doing that, he'll have a chance to look for his own.
Banked in by Kramer. 2-point shot. His first two of the game. Purdue now scoring almost every time down the floor.
The efficiency has been very, very good here in the second half, and I think it's because of the ball movement. Extra passes being made by Purdue.
What a shot from the hip by Turner.
E.T. He's got a knack, boy.
Purdue's made its last 5 shots. Hummel, that's wide. Tapped out by Johnson. So, 54-47, Purdue with under 7 minutes to play. What's the the big stat you see so far?
Well, the big stat for me is this one right here. Field goal shooting for Purdue, 10 of 20. They've knocked down a number of three-point field goals, and then the play of E'Twaun Moore. But the ball movement, Jim, the spacing, the extra pass that Purdue has been able to make consistently here in the second half has led to higher quality shots, and Ohio State has been out of rhythm a bit.
Both these teams, of course, are going to be in that NCAA tournament field. I tell you, who knows what's going to happen here at the finish, but Purdue seems to be putting together some really nice late season touches here with Hummel healthy, you know, and Johnson's presence inside. Moore gives them an outside game, in addition to that, Kramer's great defense.
I tell you what, whoever represents the Big Ten Conference in the tournament, despite some disjointed play and some low-scoring games during the regular season, these teams are going to represent well come tournament time.
It's Kramer giving it up, Jackson, and the little guy is able to put it up and in.
Because you know they're going to defend, and teams like Ohio State, Purdue, Michigan, all capable offensive teams. Michigan State, Illinois probably the most challenged offensively as Turner comes back and quiets the crowd just a bit.
Turner has 14, 6 in this half.
Well, he'll really look to be aggressive, and the ball will be in his hands just about every time down for Ohio State, Jim. It's up to him to make the right decision and the right play for his team.
Ohio State had a lead of 6 at one time in this half. Purdue swinging it back to as many as 9 at one time. Just a moment ago, and it can be that again. And it is. Johnson.
Boy, Dallas Lauderdale is playing behind him, Jim. He's got to fight him a little more because at his size, Johnson has the wingspan and the reach to shoot over Lauderdale when he catches it in the sweet spot.
Spin, Turner floats and gets it. Spread out that floor and give Evan Turner the ball. And he can find a way to get to the basket and get off a good shot.
That's not a bad option, is it?
No. Worked the last 2 trips. Turn around Johnson. And look who gets the rebound. 5'9" Lewis Jackson from the corner. Not this time for Moore. Simmons had it for a moment. And foul going to be on Ohio State Simmons. Buckeyes 7th team foul. That'll be a 1-on-1. Second personal on Simmons.
A case there where the Buckeyes were trying to dribble that loose ball instead of putting their body on it. As a result, it leads to a foul. An opportunity for Purdue to add to the lead. Loose balls have to be retrieved with both hands and not dribbled.
Blown chance on the front end. Moore unable to make it when he's not defended. Made some tough shots. Players all over him.
It's a little different to get to that foul line.
Turner again. And a push off on Purdue. Here's the lineup tonight on CBS, 60 Minutes. How deep is our recession? How long will it last? The Fed chief will give straightforward predictions in his only TV interview on 60 Minutes. And then Amazing Race Cold Case in the unit right here on America's #1 network. First foul on Johnson. Turner trying again to create something, but way off balance this time. Ten rebounds by Hummel on the day with that last one.
He always is going to impact winning, even if he's not shooting it well. His movement, his size, his ability to get to the glass, always going to help you.
Hummel rattles out. Loose ball into the arms of Lauderdale. Oh, they say Jackson tied him up. Didn't seem to have his hands in there for too long, and the arrow will give the ball back to Purdue out of a break. Jim Nance with Clark Kellogg at Conseco Fieldhouse, Indianapolis. And let's take a look at some maps here for the tournament sites beginning on Thursday. The Thursday, Saturday, first and second round sites in Philadelphia, Greensboro, Kansas City, and Portland. And here's the Friday, Sunday combination with Miami, Dayton, not only having the Tuesday game between 64 and 65, but action Friday and Sunday as well. The regionals in Boston, Indianapolis, Memphis, and Glendale. Now, the University of Memphis cannot play there at home. Will have to travel. And will they be the one? Will they be on that one line, or will they be on the two line? I don't know, but Coach Calipari is, I'm sure he's tired of having to defend his program. He's done such exceptional things. He doesn't need to do that.
He's got a team that wherever they're seated is going to be tough to beat.
Yep.
And going to have a chance to get to Detroit. They're that good. They defend. They've got size and experience. They've got perhaps the freshman of the year in Tyreek Evans. So they'll be ready to go wherever they're sent.
No question. Here is Johnson over Lauderdale. Oh, and it's going back to Purdue. Off Turner.
Yeah, he sure did. He didn't squeeze it, Jim. It's a couple of times now Ohio State has been in position to come up with either a defensive rebound or loose ball and just hasn't squeezed it. And those are huge plays in a close ball game late.
Only 2 turnovers in the second half by Purdue. Back to their efficient ways like the 2 previous days. Jackson with a 3. And it's over the back on Hummel.
Excellent block out that time by Evan Turner.
It's a 1-on-1 at the other end. Team foul number 7.
Well, we're shooting both ways now on common fouls as both teams over the limit.
So Turner, his first trip to the line today.
You know, in the first meeting, Evan Turner got to the foul line 14 times, Jim, and I'm sure that was something that the Boilermakers talked about in their game plan to keep him off the line. So a good job in that regard all game long.
The 1-on-1. They need 2.
He's close to an 80% foul shooter. And that's another reason he's such a weapon late in games with his ball handling ability, his creative ability, and if he gets fouled, he usually knocks down free throws.
Hits them both. Turner has scored the last 8 Buckeye points. Trying to keep him in it. Feed the paint, Johnson. No foul call. The Purdue fans are screaming for a call against Lauderdale.
I just think that was a case of Juwan Johnson losing balance. I think he was expecting to be bumped a little bit by Lauderdale and anticipating that. When it didn't happen, he lost his footing.
Turner, boy, he was able to squeeze that pass in there to Lauderdale. And it's not a shooting situation. Eddie Hightower clarifies 1-on-1 coming up. Trying to figure out who the shooter is.
Should be Lauderdale, I think.
Yeah, Diebler's coming to the line.
Yeah, Ted Hillary is pointing to number 52, Dallas Lauderdale. Good try, JD. Excellent effort, but they caught you. Hey, nothing beats a try but a failure, partner.
Yeah, even Nada has to laugh about that one.
Oh, yeah. A little gamesmanship, trying to navigate to that free throw line.
A pretty smooth operator, number 33 there, Diebler. I haven't seen one in a Buckeye uniform with that number since Clark Kellogg was wearing it.
There you see clearly.
The Diebler's not even in the frame.
No, he's right.
So where is he?
Right.
Pretty good, though.
Yeah, good effort.
Would have been a great trade.
Yeah, now Lauderdale has to step up. See if he can knock down at least the first to earn the second. So
the sophomore, who's 46%. Well, now they actually look at it. Now they change their minds after the chance to look at it in the monitor. They're going to go 2 shots here. Sophomore from Solon, Ohio. No, I see some players were confused because they had earlier said 1-on-1, but it is a 2-shot situation.
Matt Painter is still confused. He thought it was 1-on-1 as well. He doesn't realize it had been changed. But he obviously doesn't have benefit of the replay.
Missed them both. We got a lane violation. We'll get Lauderdale with another crack at it here.
So
Gene Katie in retirement.
He's gone
says,
into coaching mode here. He's going back into coaching mode. Relax, Coach Katie. The officials have it right.
You never let go of it, I guess. And they got a point out of the deal to bring it to 4 with 2.5 remaining.
Really important for Purdue to continue to attack. They can't stop playing now. They've got to attack and look for scoring opportunities.
Ten-second shot clock. Moore has been the star. Johnson put back and rebound Turner, who is their top rebounder on the season. He goes down low and gets it back for the Bucks. We got a timeout, Ohio State. The arrow, the ball, they belong to the Buckeyes, who trailed by 4. Down just a short while ago by 9. They've mounted a comeback like this against Wisconsin on Friday to pull out the win. Then they beat the #1 seed, the regular season champs who won the league by a full 4 games, Michigan State, yesterday.
And Jim, the point you make about the Wisconsin comeback win has to give this young team a lot of confidence.
Got the open shot. It's Diebler. Couldn't have asked for a better look, but it's Turner chasing it down. In the paint, Lauderdale rejected. Baseline, Turner underneath, and it rolls off the rim. He'll shoot 2.
Terrific job by the Buckeyes that time. Out of the timeout, they get a high-quality shot for their best three-point shooter, John Diebler, and then that guy there, Evan Turner, chases down the miss and earns his team another possession and a chance to add 2 more points here.
Just the second foul on Johnson, 9th team foul. So from this point forward, every Purdue foul will lead to the double bonus for the Buckeyes. The 80% shooter, not this time. Thad Matta's team was down 9 with 5.5 remaining. Matta, who was raised just about an hour-and-a-half drive away from here over in Hoopeston, Illinois, border town on the Indiana-Illinois border. 6 unanswered by the Buckeyes.
Well, much like Ohio State plays through Evan Turner, expect Purdue to play through E'Twaun Moore and Robbie Hummel here. They've got the option of getting it inside to Johnson, but their playmakers are Moore and Hummel.
Back of the rim, out to Hummel, and a timeout called from the Purdue bench. Matt Painter. Well, we're about 40 minutes away from officially launching March Madness, and you know, it's going to be a trip for all of us at CBS Sports. It's going to be empty in a big way without our creative director, and really maybe the greatest guy you could ever say you could work with, Doug Toohey, who passed away earlier this week after a 10-year battle with cancer at the age of 61. He, among many things he did, and I hate just to say this is the only thing, he brought one shining moment to the network. And, you know, the anthem, the, if you will, the theme song of this NCAA basketball tournament, when that's played on that Monday night in Detroit, it's going to be a special, in many ways, for all of us at CBS, a tribute to Doug. Yeah, we will miss him so much.
Yeah, it'll be a tearjerker.
Here we go in the last minute here, Clark.
Yeah, his compassion and gentle spirit just endeared him to everybody at CBS and those who knew him.
Incredible man. Purdue now with the lead and 20 seconds on the shot clock. They're going scoreless the last 5 minutes. It's Grant with a 3. What a time to hit it. The starter a year ago, 6th man this year, hit a big shot in the first half coming right off the bench. Hits one here too.
Don't need a 3 here. You just need to get something good quick.
Oh, it's blocked. Up ahead, it's Grant again. Chasing it down, he'll bring it back out.
Now you got to foul. You got to foul.
And Buford does just that. Well, these Purdue fans, you think they've been hungry for a moment like this?
Well, you could feel it at the beginning of the game as we arrived a couple of hours before game time. You could just feel the energy. Clamoring for a chance to be called champions and putting forth a second-half effort of efficiency that'll give them a chance to get it done.
Missing the front end of the one-on-one. That was Moore. Going for the two-point shot, and he's fouled. Oh, my goodness. Don't start that celebration too soon.
Wow.
If you're Purdue.
That's the last thing you want to do if you're Purdue here. Clearly beaten in a bad position defensively was Johnson, and Evan Turner doing exactly what you should do as an offensive player. Take that ball to the rim to see if you can get a foul drawn, or at best case, score and draw a foul.
Can make it one possession, and does.
Well, I think you got to give yourself a chance here, Jim, to come up with the steal or force a turnover. If you're the Buckeyes, you give yourself 3, 4, 5 seconds to force Purdue into a mistake, and then you foul.
Walter
you don't want to foul immediately.
Comes on the floor, timeout Purdue. Remember, Ohio State's committed only 8 fouls, so if there was to be a foul, it would again be a one-on-one. They just missed a crucial front end with Moore, but give us a little more strategy here, Clark.
Well, it's simple. From Ohio State's standpoint, Jim, you want to pressure the ball here. Purdue is expecting you to foul right away. Don't do that. Give yourself 4 or 5 seconds, deny passes, get into the passing lane, see if you can force Purdue into a mistake. And if you don't in 4 or 5 seconds, you've still got plenty of time to foul and hope for a miss and then play basketball from there. But I don't think you automatically foul right away.
Hummel trying to inbound, gets it to Kramer. And there is the foul, the 4th one on Turner. It's not exactly the guy you want committing the foul. Who knows if this game marches on to an extra session. You know, there seems to, in my mind, been a few overtime games this last few days. Yeah. You actually played in a triple overtime game between Ohio State and Purdue in your career.
Yeah, and the only thing I remember about that is I think I botched a free throw that would have kept it from going to overtime.
Okay. Would have won the game.
Well, would have, yeah, put us in great position to win it. It's amazing how certain things stick in your memory bank.
Okay, 1-on-1 for Kramer. By the way, Purdue has lost its last 8 overtime games, so they don't want it either, including 3 this year. Oh, they'll get one more. They actually had a 6 overtime game in their history at Purdue back in 1955 against Minnesota. As we all still feel the after effects of that thriller Friday night. Now Kramer, Thursday night. Got the 2. 14.7 seconds and a timeout, Ohio State. Here are the Chevrolet players of the game, Turner and Moore. In recognition of their play, Chevrolet makes the contribution to each school's general scholarship fund. So Kramer hits the 2 free throws to make the margin 5.
So in this situation, Jim, you want to get something quick, and if you can drive it and draw defenders and get a good look at the 3, I think you take it if you're Ohio State. But whatever you do, you got to do it quickly. You got to get the ball up the court and get into some type of offense that leads to a quick shot. Ideally, you would like it to be a 3, but if not, you just need to make sure you're not wasting time trying to hunt a 3. You got to get it done quickly. A quick 2 is better than nothing.
Purdue's going to apply some pressure. Kramer on Turner.
Well, he's taking a lot of time here.
Yes, he is, thanks to Kramer's defense. It's Buford. Wide of the mark. It's Kramer with the rebound, slung down by Hill. It's double bonus at the other end. Now I think they can get excited.
Yep.
He's going to send Kramer back to the line. Junior from Huntington, Indiana. Good again. When you look at that Purdue roster, so many different players contributed to this victory today. and their 3-game sweep right here in Indianapolis. I mean, you can make a case for Grant off the bench.
Sure.
You know, Hummel's outstanding play. Johnson yesterday. Moore with difference maker in the second half.
That's why this team will be a tough out in the tournament. They defend. They've got a star in Hummel.
Well, the 3 goes, but it's Purdue's year at the Big Ten tournament. The Boilermakers are the champions of the Big Ten 2009.
Has to feel good to be able to say the Purdue Boilermakers are champions of the Big Ten.
Yeah, it does feel good. It was just a great team effort, and it was a struggle, though. We couldn't make a shot in the first half, couldn't make a free throw. Our guys hung in there. We made some huge shots, and then Kramer finished it with those free throws.
Talk about what you talked about at halftime. It seemed as though you were getting good shots. Did you change anything in the second half?
No, not really. We just told them to keep being aggressive, keep trying to push, and keep taking those same shots. They're going to fall. But I thought we did a good job on the glass in the first half. We out-rebounded by 4, and we thought we had to have that kind of same effort to get the victory.
Certainly helps to have a healthy Robbie Hummel and a guy like E'Twaun Moore to step up and make plays as well.
Yeah, it helps when you have shot makers against the zone, and E'Twaun stepped up, made some huge shots for us, and Rob's had a great tournament.
Talk about your team moving forward going into the NCAA tournament. You got to feel good about the way this team has played recently.
Yeah, it's funny. You know, a week ago you don't know. You lose 3 out of 4. You don't know how you feel, and then all of a sudden you win 3 straight and you feel great. But we're playing good basketball. We're healthy, and when we're making shots and rebounding and pushing the basketball, I think we're a pretty good team.
Well, it was a lot of fun watching you. Congratulations again, Coach.
All right, thank you.